Okay, recording in progress. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, so the book is available in this repository, github.com. My name is Homan/XR, and you will find a repository here where we are setting up a Phoenix Elixir database-backed, sort of a traditional web-based project. There's a book folder in here, so this book goes into detailed step-by-step guidance, and this repository is following along the book. And what Dom has done is she's made a new repository. So she didn't clone this. So she started from scratch, following the commands in the book, and she's building up her own project. So at the end of her steps, she should end up with a repository that's similar to mine. So this is also kind of checking my work in the book to see if the instructions have any errors in them. And sometimes we made mistakes by going out of order. So in the book, we are up to chapter, I think, 6 now. So what we did was there's a brief introduction of the stack of technology. So we're based on a language called Elixir and a web framework called Phoenix. It's database backed. So we're using a database called Postgres. And we set up a whole bunch of dependencies like Docker for running the database, etc. So you install things on your workstation, and then you can start the project using this utility called Mix, which creates the folder and folder structure for you. Then she created a migration. So she created a rooms table. And so at this point in time, Dom's project only has a single table with a room, and a room is just something with a room ID. But we've gotten to the point where you can, you see the table in HTML, and you can post to create new rooms, and then you can rename your room. You can click on that room, and when you click into the room, the show path of the room shows you a ball, a sphere, on a grid plane. And so it doesn't matter how many rooms you create, they will always show you that same thing because it's hard-coded right now. And so what we're going to do in today's lesson is we're going to create another table for things that can go in the room. So we have one table that's the room, and then that for every record in the rooms table, you can have many things in the room. So we're going to have another table with a room ID associated to the room, and then we're going to put things in the room, and we're going to call this entities. So in the next chapter of the book, we kind of go into a little bit of theory. Okay, so in the last lesson, we set up some front-end architecture, which is to create a mechanism for separating our code. And I thought a good idea for this would just be to call them systems. So a system is really just a function with an init. And we have another piece of code called an orchestrator, which will just go through all your systems and call the init function on all of them. And so far, we just have two systems. One is the broker system, which handles connecting to the Phoenix channel. This is a kind of WebSocket, an abstraction over WebSockets that allows bidirectional communication. So we're already able to send messages between one browser and another browser. So we did all of this stuff, and we have another system which is responsible for drawing stuff on the page. And that is the scene system. And here we sort of pasted in this boilerplate for Babylon.Js. And this just creates a canvas, it creates a camera, all this kind of stuff. And it just creates a standard sphere. So there's this create sphere, and it adds a grid material. So we have all of this stuff working. And yeah, so that's the layout of the file system. So for the new chapter, we're going to create unique content for the room. And I borrowed some concepts from entity component system architecture. So in this world, anything we want to put in our room, let's call it an entity. So the sphere technically should be an entity. The floor should be an entity. even people walking around in the room should be entity. Any things you pick up are entities. So anything you can sort of see or act or participate with are probably entities. And this is JSON format. But imagine if you had a simple data structure like this. Here's entity one and entity two. So you have two things in your scene, two somethings. And the entities themselves are just IDs. They don't have any behavior. So to sort of inform what kind of behavior we should give them, we're going to create this other concept, which is components. So components is, in one pure sense, it's just data. So here we could say that the entity one has a position component. And imagine in here, there's three numbers like your X, Y, and Z coordinate. Same thing for rotation or scaling or things like that. And maybe what kind of shape it is. So you could say mesh builder sphere or mesh builder cube or pyramid, whatever that might be. The point is you can design your own data, whatever is meaningful that you want to react to. So this is just data, and you can create your own schema. So this chapter really just says these key value pairs are just something. So you have this top level, you have the entity, which is a key, the ID of the entity, and then another JSON object, which is a collection of components. So we're going to run this generator very soon, once Dom gets her development machine set up, is using the mix command we can call schema, and this will just create these two files for us. In this schema, we give it some parameters. First, we say, what is the name of the, I guess this is an Elixir class. So Elixir classes can be namespace with dots. And so we already have this other table called rooms. And so now it's sort of saying that this component is related to rooms. I mean, really, you could name this whatever you want. Then the table name, which is components. And then here are the columns in the table. So we're going to have a room ID. So all these entities are going to belong to a room, and we're going to reference it by the room ID. We have an entity ID, which is the ID of the entity itself, which will just be probably a random number that we make up. And then we have the component name and then the component value. And because the value can be different types, for example, if you had a component called position, maybe you want the value to be an array of three numbers, a list of three numbers. But if it was a value, if it was a component like something is true or false, you'd want the value to be a Boolean. If it was a value that was a component, maybe like the name of something, maybe that value would be a string. And this is difficult to do dynamically, to have different types here. So if we put map, then it's always an object. It's always a dictionary, if you will, which means it always has a key value pair. And then you can be flexible with the type. So I chose to make this a map because at the cost of having some repetition, like we'll have a key, which will also be the component name, the value can be anything, and then we're not restricted by a strict type here in the database field. Otherwise, we would have to define a whole bunch of different columns with strict types. Anyway, that's a detail. Once you run this migration, it's going to create two files for you. This one is the migration file, which plans out what it's going to do. So this is the code for what it will do when you run mix ecto migrate. So this says, I'm going to create a new table called components. It's going to have an ID. This is just the ID that it automatically generates. And we're going to inject our own entity ID and be able to search by this. So yeah, because I think this one creates a like longish UUID, and we just want to have like little short IDs. Then yeah, it's going to belong to a room ID, and then you have component name, and then component that is the map part as explained up here. So this command up here creates this migration file that you can make changes and edit if you want. Then we're going to run mix ecto migrate. Then we're going to add some functions. So we're going to create a function to create an entity. So we're going to pass in a room ID and then some new entity ID for what we want to create, and then whatever components we want. Remember, this is just it's called a map in Elixir, and in JavaScript, something similar would be called like a JSON object, except it wouldn't have this %sign in the front of it. Then it will go through and then it will just loop through these components and make one record for each component. So this table actually is holding one component per row. And that makes it easy to update just one component because you don't have to replace the entire row. You only have to replace the component that you changed in exchange for some redundant fields like room ID and entity ID, etc. Then we create some more methods. So we're just going to copy and paste these into our code. And these are some utility functions for grabbing all of the components into the room. And then we're going to demonstrate the use of these things. So we're going to create a test. So in this test, we can call some of these functions that we made above so we can understand what they're doing. So we can see that rooms create entity, create another entity, and then we can call like room entities to get back the two entities that we made. So this test asserts that if you create two entities, and then you call this query, you'll see that you created two entities. And then, so anytime we want to put that code in a place where, oh, sorry, I'm not done yet. So after we have the ability to create new entities, we want to create meaningful entities. So in the beginning, let's just create a bunch of random colored boxes. So we can create a function called generate random content, pass in the room ID. And in here, we'll call the create entity function that we made above. And inside, we'll pass in whatever entities we want to create. So we decided to create position, and then let's call a function to create some random position. So whenever this is called, it's going to create a random number of boxes. Each box has a random position. And then you can even randomize the box parameters. So in Babylon, when you call the mesh builder function, you can pass it like a length, a depth, height, that sort of thing, and then we'll create some different size boxes. So these are just helper functions for randomizing different size boxes at different size positions and a random number of them. And then if they're saved as entities, because rooms have their own entities, from the front end, when we create a bunch of different rooms, and every time we create a room, we're calling generate random content, then when we click into each individual room, it should look different. The two rooms shouldn't have the exact same size boxes. And finally, we're going to test that. So we're going to, inject it so that we're going to call rooms, create room with random content instead of the default one, which doesn't add our random content. So hopefully we can get through this demo. And then when we click on the front end, we should see some boxes. Push entities. Oh yeah, we need to push this data. So we made this query to get back this box. So here's an example of the entities that we will create. So this is some random entity ID, and then the components on it. So it's got some random color, some randomized box shape, and a random position. And there's a bunch of them. So this entities will use, since we created a Phoenix channel, when we first join the room, we can send ourselves any message we want. So we can say push down to the socket, to our own channel, the full list of entities. And then on the front end, we can listen for that and then draw the boxes using Babylon. So we'll see if we can get that far. But that's sort of a recap, and also today's lessons summary. So now I'm going to hand it over to Dom.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so here, number 6, right? Let me show. Oops. Okay, so
So let's first see if we have everything running. First thing we want to do is visit your website in localhost 4000, like we've been doing, and see if your server's up and running.
yeah, it's already here.
Okay. Can you refresh this screen?
Refresh the screen. Yeah, I've already refreshed it.
Oh, okay. And click into rooms. Let's see how
Rooms.
you have. Okay, you got one room. So if you, just for show, can you click on the show?
Okay.
And you'll see the basic hard-coded scene. Okay, awesome. So now let's run that first command, which is that mix generate the table. So scroll down. So that one.
This one. This one needs to be put inside
the mix phoenix gen dot schema.
the mixed.
The first one.
Oh,
No.
Which one?
The mix phoenix.
Mix. Oh, here.
Copy that whole thing.
Okay. Right.
No. Copy the whole. That's a command. It's a command that you need to run. It's not a file.
Oh, it's a command. Okay.
So mix is a utility that comes with Elixir, and you run it in your bash terminal.
Oh.
So
this one? Or the entire thing?
Yeah, you got to copy the whole.
The entire thing. Oh.
Copy the whole thing. It's all important to it. Okay, now you are in. Wait, stop. That's not going to work. When you run your server, you are actually telling it to run the server and an IEX terminal at the same time, which means you're having interactive Elixir code. So you're not at the bash terminal.
Oh, not at the bash terminal.
Right.
So where am I?
Where it says IEX.
Yeah, IEX. Yeah.
Do something like 1 + 1. Enter. So now IEX 2. So 1 was the first command you ran, and the second command you run. So if you do 1 + 1 again, it's going to say IEX 3. So anytime you see this IEX thing, not at your shell terminal. I'll do Control-C twice.
Control-C twice. Control-C. Oh, get out.
Okay. This thing that says Dominique's whatever MacBook Pro, this is shell terminal.
Shell terminal. Oh.
Right. So one is an IEX terminal, which we're actually running for convenience. We don't have to run that when we run mix Phoenix. The command is actually like IEX. That's starting the server. You don't actually have to start the server, but I like to because I like to be able to run commands while my server is running. So anyway, this is your shell, and mix is a command that's supposed to be run on the shell. So pasted it into the IEX. It's
IEX.
not a valid Elixir command. It's a valid shell command. So paste it.
This one? Oh, so this one like this?
Yeah. Okay, so it created the 2 files. And let's see. It says, okay, let's follow the book. Let's see if you have to make any changes to it. You can open that up. Here's a tip. You can actually use command click that file, and it will
click this file.
Click, and it'll open it up.
Oh, and open in editor. Okay.
So now you can compare the book with that. Are there any changes?
Compare the book.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Compare the book. Where?
So this file here, def Dual rooms component. Compare that with the version in the book. Just put them side by side, compare them.
Oh, okay.
So scroll. Okay, so it says here's the migration, use ecto migration. Okay, that's not the file. That's not the migration file. This is a different file. Do command click that second file.
Command click this
The
one.
yes, that's the migration file.
Oh, here, yeah, second.
Okay, let's see. Primary key false, binary, yep. Okay, you see line 10 is different. This
Line
says
10.
this says if you delete the room,
Mm.
your entities aren't deleted. This says on delete, do nothing. But in the book, it says on delete, delete all. So you can just copy. Yeah, go ahead and
Only this one.
well, you can copy the whole thing and paste it because the index here is different as well. Okay, go ahead and save that. Okay, scroll down in the book and we have a random UUID. Okay, go ahead and run mix ecto migrate. And again, it's a mix command, so run that in your shell.
Mix. Run this one.
Mhm.
Run version. On the shell. This one.
Yeah. Okay, so it should have run. And then finally open up your rooms.ex.
Rooms.ex. Okay. Rooms.ex. Rooms.
So go ahead and search it.
Yeah.
No.
There.
Rooms.
Rooms. Oh, rooms.
So this is a context file, which is essentially a junk drawer for rooms related functions. So you can really paste them anywhere. I suggest you just paste them at the bottom. So yeah, grab those functions that are defined in the book or create an
Sure.
yeah, grab them.
This one?
Paste it inside the
Rooms.
module. So do
Oh,
Command Z. You want to paste it before that last end.
before the last end. So this is the last end, so I need to put before.
Yeah, paste it there. Yeah.
Oh.
You already copied it. You don't have to copy again.
Oh.
Okay, and do it for those rest of the functions too.
And the rest of functions.
Yeah.
This function loops through each. Okay, and I need to click
Yep.
those. So those are map for their components for room. This component build a map of entity key to component. Okay, so this something like that. And to make sure let's update. So this one is another one. Room test with the following.
Yeah, save your changes first.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, you got too many files open. Can you close all of them? Just sure that everything is saved. Yeah. It's easier if you do Command W, then you don't have to your mouse.
Command W.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
just hit it a bunch of times until except for the last one.
Oh.
Otherwise it'll close your
Open, right? Open XR here.
Yeah. Can you check see if your server is still running?
Oh, I see. So this one?
Wait.
The this one.
Our server was stopped.
Oh, okay. So Docker again.
No. Docker should be running already. You only just closed your and we already stopped your server anyway. So you're fine. What's this? XR.
Uh,
Okay, you cannot set doc attribute. Okay, inside a function method. Okay, go to your rooms.ex. It doesn't like something you pasted.
Oh, rooms.ex.
Okay, it's telling you which line. It says line 122. So you can,
Line.
yeah, you can actually command click on that.
Come and click on this.
Yeah, that'll take you right to the spot.
Oh,
Okay, see that?
mm.
Just go ahead and
Uh,
can I set inside a function? Are you inside a function? Let's scroll.
maybe this doc, something like that.
Okay, but there's another one underneath it. Why
Maybe this one.
inside? Are you inside a function? Or oh wait, you pasted another. Yeah, get rid of that double end at the end.
Oh, so many and.
And have that. Okay, save it.
Mm.
Okay, try it again. I don't think you need to.
I have so many and.
Try to start your server again, see if it errors.
Oh, start my service. Oh, it's
Unclosed delimiter missing. Okay, you do have.
you put another and. Because I delete one of it. Maybe start server.
Cannot
Yeah.
f inside a function macro. So I think you did a weird thing when you pasted it. You probably pasted something
Oh.
weird way.
Mm,
It's fortunate that your formatter isn't working because it's hard to see.
yeah.
It's not indenting things for you.
Yeah. For some reason, it just cannot.
Can you go to the GitHub repository and just grab my room's version and then paste the whole thing over yours?
Okay.
That probably.
GitHub repository.
Mhm,
Go here, right? This one.
mhm. No, no, no. You're in the book. Just go to the file.
File. Where?
Um, are you logged into GitHub?
Login to GitHub.
Yeah. Try hitting a period. No, 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 no. Right here on the page. It will actually open the
Oh,
code for you. No, no, uh,
where?
go back to yeah, here. Hit
Oh,
period and tell me if it does anything.
you period. What?
Okay, if it doesn't do anything for you, you have to be logged in to do it. Anyway, go to lib,
Lib.
go to XR,
XR.
and go to rooms down below.
Rooms.
Second one from bottom. Nope, 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 nope. Back, back, back.
Yes, here. Copy the entire thing.
Yeah, copy raw file
Mm.
and paste it. Copy it. Oh, save it.
Mm.
Okay, now try to start your server and see if it complains. The rooms cannot compile module XR rooms.
Arrow have been logging.
Oh, I have some code in here that you do not yet have. Like there's like snippets of, so maybe it's complaining about that. Um, try doing a checkout. Yeah. Do you have Git? Try doing Git checkout.
Git checkout. Git checkout. Something?
And then this file. git checkout space lib xr rooms, and then it will put it back the way it was.
Lib and what? Lib XR.
Lib slash xr slash rooms dot ex. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so that should, let's take a look at your room.
Take a look at my room.
And just like scroll up and down on the code. Let me see what state it's at. No,
Oh,
the code.
hmm.
Rooms. Okay, try starting your server.
Oh, starting my server.
Okay, now try
Yeah,
pasting those.
back.
Try pasting those changes again.
Passing those. So I need to go back to your this and kind of copy and paste this one.
No, don't do this. Go back to the book.
Oh.
Let's just do it more carefully this time.
Mm. Mm.
Keep going.
This one?
Yes, do this one first.
Okay, so copy and then where to pass?
Paste it at the bottom again.
The bottom here?
Okay, save it.
Save it. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
And in fact, you can actually test it. Let's create a test.
Hmm.
So scroll down in the book.
Scroll down in the book. Okay.
Keep going to where we talk about the test. Keep going. Okay, so copy this test.
Okay.
And then you should have a room test already, so we're gonna modify it. So go to roomtest.exe.
So roomtext.ex.
Underscore.
Here.
Yes. Okay. So so I think you can collapse this because I don't think we need these tests. So the arrow that will come out on line 6, just
like that.
expand line 1 and collapse line 6. Okay,
Like that?
then highlight line 6 through line 60 and just delete that whole thing.
Oh, this.
You can grab it while it's collapsed actually, and you can delete it and it will delete the whole thing. Yep.
Oh.
So now take from the book that test block that's about like actually grab the whole describe entities part.
Describe entity. This one?
Yeah, all the way down to its corresponding end. Yeah, grab that and then paste that into paste it on
Before?
5, yeah. And then comment out line 24 yet, because we only created this create entity function. So what I want to do now is I want to run this test. So let's go to the terminal and have a shell.
Of a shell.
Okay. You don't need to keep opening new terminals, but that's fine. Because now you have like three terminals open on the right panel, but that's okay. Just
maybe this one.
Yeah, I mean
This
is running in your server, but you also have like another Z shell.
This one.
So this is your IEX terminal. This is running Elixir, right? You see IEX?
Yes.
Go to your shell terminal. Go to your Z shell terminal.
Z, this one?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Type clear.
Clear.
Yeah, that clears your screen. So we want to run your test. So do mix space test. Let's see what that does.
Mix space test.
We might complain about some things.
Oh.
We haven't done it yet on your machine. So what this command does is it will look for any files that end in underscore test, and it will perform the function in there. So it's useful for seeing if your code runs correctly without you having to keep testing it using a browser.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so it says that 7 tests are failing, and this is because we changed something. So in the book, we like modified the default homepage. So these tests were automatically generated, and they're looking for like, oh, this page says Phoenix or whatever. So we don't actually need some of these tests. So specifically, I only want to run the rooms test right now. So you can actually do mix test, and then you could put a path to the file you want to test. So you could do mix space test space test space test slash xr slash rooms underscore test dot exs. So this is the file you have open right now. And okay, what does it say? 1 failure. Let me see what the failure is.
Give me 1 second. I have to unplug something. Okay, 1 failure here.
Okay, can I see the top of the error?
On the top, this one?
No. I want to see the full error. I can only see the bottom part of the error. Can I see the error message? I want to see the
This
top.
one?
Yeah. Test entities create entity T3 with a valid
Give me
Yeah.
a second.
with valid data creates an entity. Value in insert does not match the binary. Okay. UUID generate, create entity. Can I see, scroll down in the test example above? I want to see a little bit more room. Wait, what line did this fail on? This failed at line 14. Rooms, create entity. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I know what's going on. If we go to the migration, so on the left side, do you see that file that says 20240329?
202403.
Left, on the left side, migrations.
Hey, give me a sec. This one? Hey, no.
No, in your left pane.
Oh, okay. Left pane.
You see migrations?
Oh, yes, migration.
Yeah. You see that file that's highlighted in green? Double click. Okay. So the issue here is that it says room ID references rooms and rooms. So if you click on the other migration file.
Other migration file. This one?
Yep, double click that. That is a string. So this is here a string. And yeah, actually that's fine. If you reference a string, okay, let me see the other migration again.
The other migration format? Oh no, not this one. This one.
Migration, yeah. Okay, primary key, that's a binary key. Okay. Okay, go back to your test. I want to see what your test is creating.
Test.
Test. There, it's right there. Don't.
This one?
Yes. No. I want to see rooms test, which is right there. Yeah. Okay. And then I want to see the fixture. So command click room fixture on line 12. I want to see what,
Command click on line 12 here,
yeah.
room fixture.
Fixture? Yeah.
Command click.
Your stuff doesn't work. Okay.
Go to
Uh,
definition.
yeah, but it can't find it because
Oh,
your setup's all messed up. Yeah, search for that function, room fixture.
room fixture. Explore. Okay. Maybe here.
So no, you want to do like Shift Command F
Oh, Shift Command F.
and search there. But remove the parentheses at the end because I want to see the function definition.
No, this one.
The first one.
First one.
Open it.
Open it. Okay.
Yeah, double click. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this does create room. Okay, so we're injecting that and you create a room. Yeah, this should create a string. Yeah, this should just create a string. Well, let me see the rooms test again.
Room test. Room test. Okay.
All right, and the error was you're trying to create room ID. And we generated a UUID for the entity ID. Okay. Okay, let's see how that's defined. So can you command click on create entity? Let's see if that takes us to the right code.
Command click entity. Give me a sec. Command click this one.
Try doing it on create entity. It may not work for you because
Create entity here.
line 14, create and
Create entity. What do you want?
command click
Command click.
create entity. No, it doesn't work for you.
No.
Shit. Well, it's just in rooms. So the next file over, the next tab on your left.
Next tab on the left. Yes.
That's
This
not
one?
that's a pain. The tabs are on where it says
Tab. On the left here. 12.
no. Do you know what tabs are? Tabs are like little files.
Oh, this one.
Do the rooms.ex tab.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, here's the function. So you put entity ID. Oh, okay. Entity ID here was we gave a UUID and it needs to be just a string. So our test, okay, our text is broken. Okay, I think I know how to fix. Okay, go back to rooms test, the second
this
tab.
one. Oh, the second tab. This one? The
Correct.
rooms test. Okay.
Okay. So on line 14, okay, comment out 19 through 22. Comment that out.
19. Oh, this one?
Comment.
Oh, you want comment it out. Okay.
Good. Now, instead of UUID generate, because in the first, so it's my fault. In the first version of this, I was using the UUIDs, which are kind of like a binary ID, but I switched to using like short strings. So delete the part that says ecto.uuid.generate.
Ecto. This one? Delete?
We're going to replace it with something. Just put like double quotes and put like entity one, for example. Sure, save it. Okay, now let's hit your up arrow in your Z shell and run our test again.
You mean terminal, right? Z shell.
Right there. Close this arrow.
Here. Oh, here, this one. Okay, so run server again.
No. I want to run the test again.
Run this test again. This one?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, now what's the error? Now what's the error?
This one.
Okay, this value for room ID in
Not match.
match type.
Binary. Oh, so this one need to be random something. I don't know. Or just say random the string.
Actually, it's probably useful if we inspect what room is. So on line 13,
Mm.
can you put like capital I, capital O
IO.
dot inspect and then put room, and that will print out what the room is. Yeah, go ahead and save it and then run the test again.
Okay, save it and run the test. Okay.
Scroll
Okay.
up. Is it printed anything out? Okay, so it printed something out. Okay, so ID is there.
Room print this one or oh, this is the ID. And then IO inspect.
Okay, so it's expecting that room ID should be a binary ID. Why does it think that? Entity. Can you click on the first tab?
First tab. This one?
So when we pass in room ID here, go to ID component. Oh, okay, okay. Let's take a look at that. And the open up. Well, I want to see your files. So on your left side, can you click on the first button in the left? Keep
In
going.
the left first button here.
The Explorer. Okay. Go to the rooms. No. Stay where you are. Go back down. Okay. Click on stop. Yes, click on that. Room.ex. Open that file. Okay, and scroll up. ID is string. Okay. Okay, click on component. Open up
Component. Where?
Open up component.ex. It's right above the file that you just opened. Okay, there's it is. Line 11. That shouldn't be a binary ID. That should be a string.
Oh, so change this to string.
Yes.
Oh.
There we go.
Run again.
Let me see your. Oh, okay. So we've replaced your migration. Yeah, run it again.
Oh.
Okay, so the test, it didn't crash. So we probably inserted something into our database. Okay. So at least this test just proved that when we ran create and it didn't blow up. So now we want to implement the other function. So go back to the book. We want to query. So we created an entity actually. And we want to get it. We want to query it back.
Yeah. Okay. So we create an entity now, and now this is the one, right?
Go back to the book.
Go back to the book.
So you see that last line in the test?
Yeah.
In the test.
Test where?
The part that's highlighted is the test.
Mixed text, this one?
Yeah. No. We've been looking at that the whole time. Assert entities. Do we have that in our test? I think we
you mean this one?
commented out. No.
No.
I mean, that runs the test, but I'm talking about the test itself. Go look at the test. Scroll down on the test.
This one? Mixed text.
No. Let me see the bottom of the room's test, please.
The bottom of the room test. Oh, here.
Yeah, scroll down.
Okay.
Okay, that commented out. Uncomment out line 26. And in fact, delete the word assert and then delete.
Word assert.
Yeah, and then delete everything after rooms, entities, room ID. The whole map keys, whatever. Yeah, delete all that stuff. Instead, do a pipe. Okay, put a space.
Pipe.
No. It's vertical pipe.
Vertical pipe. What pipe?
I'm gonna write it for you.
Oh, okay.
This is a vertical pipe, and in Elixir, this is called a pipe. So put that.
Second or first?
What do you mean second or first?
This one? Pipe? No.
It's above your enter key.
Above my enter key.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And put that greater than.
Greater than.
Look at what I wrote in the chat. Yeah.
Mm.
This is called an elixir pipe.
Oh.
Means you take the output of the first command and you
Mm.
pipe, you give it to the input of the second command.
Oh.
So we put space IO inspect.
Space IO capital.
Mm-hmm. You typed it before, remember?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, run your test.
Run my test. This one.
Nope, that's your server.
Oh. Mm. Here.
First of all, save your file. And then do mix test. Type it.
Type it in. This one. Mix. Oh. Mix dot test.
We want to avoid the other tests that are failing, so put a space and put the path to your test file right now.
Oh, so room.
No.
Which one?
Look under the, it's telling you the path right there. A little higher. Underneath the tab, do you see where it says test XR rooms test EXS?
Where? This one?
You move your mouse like 1 inch to the left, you see test XR. You see how it's telling you the path?
Oh, so this one, this three.
This tells you what folders your file is in. And
Oh,
path when you do test slash XR, yes, that's where the test file is.
this one?
Yeah, that's telling Mix to test that one file.
Oh.
Okay, so this is called test-driven development. We wrote a test, we're executing the test, and it failed. And the failure is we haven't defined a function called entities. So now to go define that function. So go to the book, it's defined. You need to paste it into. No, go to the book. You need the code.
Mixtape test. Okay, so add random obstacles to a room upon creation. This one? Or
No.
you want this one? Run with mix test. This one?
No. The error says you have entity defined. So we need to create a function called entities.
Oh. So there's an entity here. Entity.
Go up.
Entity.
Well, this is the test. It's not the function definition. Here we go.
Oh, here, definition.
Yeah. Pasting this won't be enough because the definition or the implementation of this function makes use of another function called components to map. So you're going to need that. So I would try again copying all the code on this page, on that section.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Then going to rooms.exs.
Rooms.ex.
Yes.
This one? And then
To the bottom.
go at the button before the final ends.
Yeah. And save it. Run your test again.
So terminal. The terminal always.
Then So don't keep running new tasks. Don't keep new terminals. The terminal's open. You just need to need to show it.
Yeah, where's the how to show terminal?
There might be a shortcut key. I don't know what it is, but what I do is I just take my mouse and then I drag up on the blue bar.
Oh, like that. Drop. I see, I see. Just okay. So one file, entity one.
Well, that was last time because
Oh,
you didn't have that function defined. Now you defined it. So run it again.
so do again.
Yay. So I want you to pay attention to
Hmm.
line before the green dot. That is your IO inspect.
IO inspect this one.
Yeah. This is the entity that you created.
Mm-hmm.
Created entity 01,
Hmm.
gave it like mesh builder box position 1, 2, 3. So you actually created in data, it's saved to the database and you were able to pull it back out. So go to rooms test and write. This is probably all we have time for. So go to rooms test and I want you to add another entity, call it something else, and add your own components.
Run test.
The third tab.
Third tab.
Give yourself some space. And you uncomment that code right there.
This one? Uncommon?
No. That's not commented. I said uncomment the commented.
Oh, this one.
Don't one line at a time. Just grab
Oh, gosh.
commented. There you go. Okay, so this code, when you run a test, it's going to wipe everything clean and it's going to run it from the beginning. Go up a little bit. I'm going to explain what code does again. First, it creates a room, like a pretend in the test database. So Phoenix actually comes with a test database. So you're creating a fake room using room fixture. And then line 16 through 18, you created entity 01. And go ahead and add like another component in there. Put a put whatever component you want.
Put a component.
And say like name is
at the beginning, something like that. Entity. No.
Well, entity is entity 01. Just follow this pattern. You don't need to get to the book. I'm just asking you to play. I'm asking you to something. I'll tell you if it's wrong or not. Why do you need a comma? You need a comma between components. Yeah. Now, your own component.
Component? Entity?
Well, don't call it entity. Component should be something about. Usually there's some attribute. So it's like age or name or has gravity or size. And then the thing on the right, the value would probably be like ball or the particular color. Yeah, do color, for example. All right, follow the pattern. So if I've established, yeah, exactly, lowercase, yeah, just okay. And then what do you think a color would be?
RGB.
It could be. So define something valid. Sure.
Or FFF or F.
Well, if you did that, the whole thing would need to be a string because F is not.
So maybe.
What you did was fine. 3 numbers is fine.
Okay.
That's fine for defining color. Save it. Now on line 23, you're adding another component. Sorry, you're adding another entity, but you need to replace that ecto UUID generate thing with something else.
Ecto, this one with something else. ASDFG.
Sure. Okay. Then add your own random components.
Random components. This one?
You can give it like a rotation or something.
Rotation.
Yeah, just copy the pattern.
Mm.
Need a comma between components.
Oh. rotation. Mm, mm,
Sure. Save it and run your test.
oh, save it and run the test. One.
Okay, look at the printout.
Oh,
Yeah, pull up so you can see more of it. You'll see the whole.
oh, it's here. ASDFG rotation, color.
Mhm. So
Can I see in this room, the local room?
no, because we didn't
Oh,
react to it yet.
oh,
We only saved it. Actually, all we did was we wrote a function
hmm,
to be able to save data, and then we
hmm,
wrote a test to be able to save the data and retrieve the data.
hmm,
Right now, any room that you create is not actually getting new entities yet because you haven't hooked it up.
hmm,
So you have to hook the back end up, and then you have to hook the front end up to get the message. You need
hmm,
to get that message. But down below is a demonstration of what the message would look like.
hmm,
In your inspect, if you write label like this,
hmm.
it makes it easier to see if you make it look like this. I'll write it to you.
No.
Label entity. Okay, you see my chat?
Oh,
So on line 30, if you did that and then you run the test again, it's a little bit easier to read.
oh, here, right. Oh, entity output. So here you want where to put the
After
label.
the pipe, instead of just IO inspect, you can put
Oh,
a label inside IO inspect.
label. Right.
Uh, uh,
Mm,
inspect. Well, why does it not like that? Well, what does it say? What's the error? Okay.
item, comma, right?
IO inspect. Wait, hover over the red part. I want to see
Oh,
where it is. Use your mouse and hover over the red squiggly line so I can see what the error is. That's not the error.
maybe entity output is a specific term.
Oh, no. Okay. You copied and pasted Zoom, and Zoom screwed up the quotes. So you have to type the quotes. So get rid of those quotes. You see how they're kind of angled? Those aren't pure quotes, double quotes.
Oh, I see, I see, I see.
What are you doing? The last one. Fix the last one.
The last one. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I see, I see.
Save it.
Hmm.
Run your test.
Run the test. Okay.
Okay, you see how it puts entities output in the output now?
Yeah.
That way you know your output.
Mm.
Okay, that's all we have time for. But you created a new table,
Mm.
and you wrote a function to insert data into the table, and then you pulled data out of the table. But
Mm.
it's established a pattern for being able to describe anything in the scene, right? Because all you have to do is give it some entity ID, whatever you want, ASDFG, and you can put any kind of components that you want. So
Mm.
very flexible for you to add any kind of little pieces of data. And they don't really have a restriction. You can invent your own component names and your own component values, right?
Mm.
So
Cool.
yeah, I suggest you play with the test a little bit more to get comfortable with it, but this is a way to write software is that you write a test and then you're testing the functions that you wrote. So you put in the test and you run the test, and it's like cleaning the slate every time to make sure your test doesn't have errors, right? And if it
So
has,
mix test is it's like a what's that? Um, console. It's like make sure that the code is running right.
It's a test runner. So
Mm.
mixed test will find all of the files
Mm.
that are in your test directory by default,
Mm.
and then it will execute them. And then it will
Mm.
print out that little green dot if a test passes, and it'll put a little red dot if the test fails.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We didn't get very far today, so next week we will actually hook it up and
Mm.
then create some entities that are boxes and create some, sorry, components that are colors and boxes. And then we have to pass that message to the front end. And then in the front end, we're going to have to use Babylon.Js to actually draw it out.
So this week, still no Babylon.Js, but next week we will definitely do Babylon.Js.
Well, if you work fast enough, you were like,
Okay, the go. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, like it might be 2 weeks from now before.
Okay, I think Peter enjoys the session and he loves the book talk. Yeah, he loves your book talk and he thanks for the session. So that's him. We have the maximum watch was 12 and now down to 6. But I mean, I believe the Babylon.Js will definitely boost the view because today I just saw Babylon.Js got the new release or some new news. So yeah, so if you see the Slack I post there.
Yeah, I should check out the Babylon.Js new features. I think they came out with some cool things that we might be able to use.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, thank you so much and see everybody next week. Bye bye.